now, folks, fresh off his campaign tour of Conway, Georgetown, and Lower Aner, your next president of the United States, Kim Bogey Sherman!
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone.
Thank you. Oh, please, thank you. Please be seated. As you know, the election is just around the corner. It's the time where we as citizens have an obligation to get out and exercise our rights to vote. Now, the question is, who are you going to vote for? Well, it's my fondest wish you'll vote for me, and I believe you will. Why? Because I don't have anything left to lie about. So, after 15 minutes of excruciating soul searching and, of course, talking it over with my family who have agreed to drop all charges, I have decided that I will seek the office of President of the United States. I am doing it. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. And furthermore...
Bogey, I hate to interrupt you,
Yes.
but we're very excited about you running for president and everything backstage.
Of course you are.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I put together some pertinent questions to ask in front of all these folks.
Pertinent questions to ask me.
Yes, sir.
What's that mean?
Well, like presidential kind of thing.
Oh, hold that thought. Okay, go ahead.
Well, first, let's start off by getting your thoughts on foreign affairs.
Foreign affairs, I'm against it.
Against it.
Look, if you're going to do that kind of thing, you can do it right here in the United States. You ain't got to go overseas to do it just to have a foreign affair. You have an affair, you can have one right here. By the way, Gary Baker, I saw you look at that little Korean girl last night. Keep your eyes off her. She's from Canada. Okay, what else you got?
What about current events?
Current events, such as?
Climate change.
Sadly, it's the wildlife that suffers.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like the female deer said when she came out of the woods. I'll never do that again for $2. No. It's the wildlife that suffers.
Yeah.
Just picture those cute little bunnies out there in sub-zero weather. Nothing to keep them warm but their little cotton tails and whatever thin lingerie they happen to be wearing.
Okay, moving on. What about the small businessman? Do you think he still has a chance?
Absolutely, the small businessman has a chance. Everyone in this room has an opportunity to grow up to be a taxpayer. You know, my brother and I had a very successful small business in the early 70s.
Is that right?
Yeah, we sold marijuana. I mean, we had a pharmacy.
A pharmacy. That's a better choice of words.
It's a big word, though. I know. Yeah, pharmacy. As a matter of fact, I'm bankrolling this entire campaign with the money that we made off of a laxative we invented back in 1975. It was a big success. We named it after our favorite Walt Disney musical, Zippity-doo-doo, Zippity.
What about Hillary Clinton? You know you can't ignore her.
Look, Hillary's trying to win this thing by being, shucks, I'm a country girl kind of thing. There was a picture of her in the paper yesterday. Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
Well, I don't think anybody did. Anyway, she was sitting in front of Cracker Barrel in a rocking chair, and she was whittling a pantsuit. Now, and then she started bragging about the fact that she's already spent time in Washington. She said she used to get up every morning and put on a ball cap and sunglasses and walk around Washington talking to all the little people. Well, that went great until Bill pulled up one day, rolled the window down, and said, "Hey, baby." Oh, wait, never mind. So, you know, word has it that she left her doctor's office the other day and she was in a huff.
She's mad at a doctor.
And she was in a huff. It's a new car they got. No,
Oh.
yes, she was mad
Like a
at the
Fiat.
doctors. Yeah, Fiat. She was in a Fiat. No, she was mad at Bill. She called him up on the telephone and said, "I'm going to have a baby. How could you be so careless?" Bill said, "Who is this?" So, you know, I think so.
What about Governor Rick Perry? I understand you were on a plane with him recently.
I was, yes.
That's what my card says.
That's what the card says. Well, Rick Perry's no longer in the race. We all know it, but he doesn't. Anyway, yeah. I sat right beside him. You know what? No sooner did we get in the air, you know what happened?
What happened?
We lost our first engine.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what it says right there. Oh, no. Lost our first engine. Yeah, and of course, the pilot said we'd be an hour late. Then we lost our second engine.
No.
Yes, pilot said we'd be 2 hours late. Then we lost our third engine. That's when Governor Perry stood up and said, "I sure hope we don't lose that fourth engine. We'll be up here all day." But we landed safely in Ohio. Then Speaker of the House, John Boehner's hometown. I gave a short speech, then had my picture taken beside the tanning bed he grew up in.
Well, speaking of Ohio and speeches, I understand that Ted Cruz just recently gave a speech there also, right?
That was his last speech he gave. Then he got back in his plane and flew home to Canada. But you know what? The Republicans loved Ted Cruz. He gave a speech. They said the floor was shaking, the rafters were trembling, and then Chris Christie stopped jumping up and down so nobody knows if it was any good or not.
You know I got to get your thoughts on Mr. Trump.
I like Donald.
Uh-huh.
I just don't think he goes to church very much.
What makes you think
Because
that?
when he was in South Carolina, he went to a service. I asked him how he liked it. He said, "I don't know about that." He said, "What I really enjoyed about it, though, was that basket full of money they gave me." The basket. But y'all don't go very much either, do you? Okay, well, I was also at a political rally, and Donald Trump was there. I was there. Hillary was there, and Ted Cruz. Oh, and right in the middle of Ted Cruz's speech, Donald Trump jumped up and said, "My name's Donald Trump. I support Israel. This is the Star of David." Well, Hillary couldn't stand it. Up she jumps. "My name's Hillary Clinton. I support the Pope, and this is a crucifix." Well, I'd had about enough of that. I'd had about enough of that. Yes, you too. I understand. I jumped up and said, "I want your vote." Yes, I jumped up and said, "My name is Kim Bogey Sherbert. I support the Baptist, and this is a casserole." Don't hit me in, I'll come out swinging.
Well, you know, when you're running for president, the American people, they want to know all about you. And
Yeah.
Since you did bring it up, what is your religious background?
Well, my father was Catholic, and my mother was Jewish.
And that makes you...
Cashew. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Okay, well, moving on to your personal life.
Yes.
There was a picture of you in the paper the other day.
Well, I was young, and I needed the money.
No, you were seen with a woman half your age.
Well, she was young, and she needed the money. Just kidding, that's a joke. Look, I'm a single guy, but I'm frank with all the women I go out with. Don't want them knowing my real name, now do I? It's not funny, okay.
You've been seen with her quite a bit. Where'd you meet her?
I met her at a Taylor Swift concert.
Taylor Swift, huh?
Oh, yeah, Taylor Swift concert, yes. I walked up to her and said, "My goodness, you're lovely. Where have you been all my life?" She said, "Well, for the first half of it, I wasn't born yet." Anyway.
So it's fair to say you have a girlfriend.
Yes, I have a girlfriend. But you know what? You know what?
What?
You know what?
What?
We've been having communication problems lately.
How so?
Every time I call her house, her husband answers the phone. You can't communicate like that.
And you're divorced, right?
Who wouldn't be? I walked in on my wife. Her and this guy were all over each other on my couch in my house. I looked at her and I said, "Who is this guy?" She said, "That's a fair question." She turned to him and said, "What's your name?" Well, I grabbed him around the throat. I said, "Who told you can mess around with my wife?" He said, "Everybody." I married her for her looks, just not the one she's been giving me lately. You know, you can tell a lot. When you've been married as long as I have, you can tell a lot about a woman's moods by looking at her hands.
How's that?
You know, like if she's holding a gun, she's not very happy, you know, so, things like that.
Well, you know, speaking of guns, you see any problem with all the gun laws?
I don't see any problem with them at all. I don't own
right.
a gun. Don't have to. I found something a lot better.
What's that?
I found this app on iTunes that turns my car horn into the sound of a gunshot.
Wow.
You talk about traffic getting out of the way, boy. Especially if you keep on blowing it. Pop, 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 pop.
Well, let's move on. Let's talk about your childhood. How
Talk about
that?
anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Childhood.
Childhood.
What's that?
Oh, when I was growing up, I always had my nose in a book.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, we couldn't afford Kleenex. At 6 years old, that's awful. At 6 years old, I was left an orphan.
Well, that's terrible.
I know, what kind of person leaves an orphan with a 6-year-old? I didn't know what to do with it. It's not like it's a pet or nothing.
But I do understand you're a father of 5. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Really? I
Yeah.
think they know, but okay.
No, I mean, the story.
Yes. My wife and I decided we'd have 2 children early on in our marriage, and we decided we were going to keep on trying till we got one we liked. Yeah, I remember my youngest having a row with her mother. Can I wear a bra? Can I wear a bra? I'm 13 years old. Can I wear a bra? I finally stepped in and said, "Listen, Frank, for the last time, no. Kids, what you going to do?"
Well, do you think you ever marry again?
I don't know, Bradley. I don't know anything. But no, Bradley, I don't know. I have 2 sisters at home to take care of all my needs.
Well, that's great, Bogey. But all the sisters in the world couldn't fulfill the role of a wife.
I said I had 2 sisters, Brad. I didn't say they were mine.
Okay, well, moving on. I understand you live on a ranch. You're like a ranching cowboy kind of guy, right?
Yes, I'm a ranching kind of guy. Old home on the range. Where the house is, well, you know. Yeah, I'm a ranching kind of guy. But you know what? Doing that ranching stuff, it was touch and go there for a while.
Touch and go.
Yeah, I had a prize bull. I couldn't get him to mate with my cows.
That's a problem.
That was a problem. Yes, it certainly was. So I made a telephone call up to New York. There's a veterinarian that lives up there. He's also sells aluminum siding. You ought to see my trailer. That's great. Anyway, he came down and he had these pills. And we gave the pills to the bull. That bull went crazy. I mean, he went crazy. He was all over my cows. Knocked the gate down over on the right and was all over my neighbor's cows. He knocked the gate down over here on the left and was all over my neighbor's ostriches. He didn't have any cows. That's how serious this was. Anyway, let me just tell you something. That bull was a mating machine.
Wonder what was in those pills.
All I know is they work and they taste like peppermint.
Get out of here.
Listen up, America. You want free money, free college, free mortgages, anything you like. Well, you come to the right place. Why? I'll tell you why. Who can take your money?
Who can take your money?
With a twinkle in their eye.
Twinkle in their eye.
take it all away and give it to some other guy. The government.
The government.
Oh, the government can.
The government can.
The government can, cause they mix it up with lies and make it all taste good.
Make it all taste good.
The government takes everything we make to pay for all of their solutions. Healthcare, climate change, pollution. Throw away the Constitution. Who can be a failure
Who can be a failure?
in so many ways?
In so many ways.
Hey, instead of getting fired, let's give ourselves a raise. The government.
The government.
Oh, the government can.
The government can.
And you'll feel so good, cause the government says you should. Now listen up, America. Do you want a spineless politician who only cares about special interests? Well, of course you do. Why change anything? So look, vote for me and you won't see my face again for 4 more years. Enjoy the show and really don't forget to vote. We'll see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Bogey Sherbert, your newest presidential candidate.